Hi, this is Krishna. In this video, we will talk about understanding DOM. DOM means Document Object Model. Okay, so the Document Object Model is a programming interface for web documents. It represents the structure of an HTML or XML document as a tree-like structure, where each element in the document is a node in the tree. The DOM provides methods and properties to manipulate and interact with these nodes, allowing developers to dynamically modify the content, structure, and styling of web pages using JavaScript. So when you see any web page, so behind the scenes, so that is developed on top of this DOM structure. So behind any web page, you can see DOM, Document Object Model, that is a tree-like structure. It might be an HTML or XML. So that will contain so many nodes. So each node, like, you can access those nodes and you can manipulate that, all these things. You can modify the content, you can apply some styling, all these things. So with the help of example, we'll see. First, we'll see theoretically. So then, understanding the DOM tree. So when a web page is loaded in a browser, the browser parses the HTML document and creates a tree-like structure known as the DOM tree. So when you see google.com, facebook.com, or xyz.com, whatever website you load on a web page, behind that web page, you can see this HTML code in the form of tree-like structure. So that is called DOM tree. The DOM tree consists of different types of nodes, such as element nodes representing HTML tags, text nodes, attribute nodes, and more. So there are different types of nodes available. So we will see that also after this theoretical presentation. Then we can see with the help of one example. The relationships between nodes are defined by parent, child, and sibling relationships. Each node has references to its parent, child, and sibling nodes. Okay, so each node will have a relation to the other nodes. So how you can access these DOM elements? Okay. JavaScript provides several methods to access DOM elements. The most commonly used method is in JavaScript is document.getElementById, which retrieves an element based on its unique ID attribute. So with the help of ID attribute, by using getElementById method, you can access any element. Other methods includes document.querySelector. If ID is not available, with the help of query selector, you can access any element to select the first element that matches a CSS selector, and document.querySelector all to select all elements that matches a CSS selector. Once an element is accessed, it can be stored in a variable for further manipulation. So with the help of getElementById or querySelector or querySelector all, you can retrieve the elements and you can store in a variable, and you can use that variable for other purposes to manipulate something else. Okay. And then how you can modify the DOM elements. In previous, we have seen how to access. Once you access, how you can modify those elements. So JavaScript provides various methods and properties to modify DOM elements. Some commonly used ones are inner HTML, retrieves or sets the HTML content. So it retrieves or sets the HTML content. Text content, retrieves or sets the text content of an element. Set attribute, you can set an attribute value. Style.property equal to value, modifies the CSS style. Append child, appends a new child or node to an element. Remove child, you can remove a child from an element. So this is how you can modify the DOM. And event handling. How can you do event handling? JavaScript allows you to register event handlers to respond to user interactions such as button clicks, form submissions, and mouse movements. So when you click on a button, what happens? Means what should happen? When you submit a form, what should happen? When you perform mouse action, what should happen? That can be performed using this JavaScript. Event handlers can be assigned using the add event listener method. The handler function is called when the specified event occurs. So with the help of add event listener methods, you can perform these kind of actions. Inside the event handler function, you can write JavaScript code to perform specific actions or manipulate the DOM based on the event. So the actual JavaScript code you can write inside this JavaScript, what you say, like event handler. Okay. So traversing the node. So how you can traverse between these nodes? JavaScript provides methods to traverse the DOM tree and access related nodes. Common methods include .parent node to access the parent node of an element, .child nodes to retrieve a collection of child nodes, and .next sibling and previous sibling to navigate between the sibling nodes. Another useful method is .querySelector or querySelector all when called an element, which allows you to select elements within the subtree. Okay. there are different type of approaches to access the different type of nodes, child nodes, parent nodes, sibling nodes, all these things. So dynamic DOM manipulation. So JavaScript enables to create, modify, and remove DOM elements dynamically. You can create new elements using document.createElement and modify their attributes and content before appending them to the DOM tree. In the same way, you can remove using the .remove method or by manipulating their parent nodes. So you can create elements, you can remove elements on the fly, means in the dynamically. So this is the sample HTML which we are going to take. In previous video, we already saw this code. So on this code, we will write some this dynamic behavior, like how to access this element, how to modify the text content, how to change the background color, and how to add some event listener to a button. So those things we will see by taking one example. So let's go to the code which we already written. Like you see, we have taken and we have added the script tag and we have written document.write to show how we can execute your JavaScript code on a browser. Okay. So now, with the help of the same thing, we can perform some actions on this. So access the element by its ID. Okay. So we can so we can see access element that should be inside the script tag. Okay, here we need to write. So after this, I'll write. So where element. So which element you want to take, that element. Where all these things we will discuss in the in our upcoming videos. But at this point of time, we can store in a variable. We discussed, right? So first we need to find that element. Which element? My element. Hello world. Okay. Where is that hello world? So this is the hello world. So I want to retrieve this and I want to modify that. Okay. So we have an ID and we discussed that get element by ID, we can access the element. So here document is inbuilt object to access all these things. Document dot get element by ID. What is that ID? So my element. So I'm able to, now I can access this element. Now I want to perform something on that. Okay, I'll modify that. Okay, so element dot text content. Okay, we can manipulate this content, means we can change the content. So what I'll do here, hello JavaScript, something like that. Okay, previously it was hello world. Now I'm getting this element and changing that content hello world to hello JavaScript. So the moment when you refresh, now it is hello world, right? The moment when you refresh, you see it became JavaScript. Okay, I'm able to access this element using this get element by ID, this element ID property area ID attribute, and I'm applying something on that text content I'm changing. Okay, so this is how you can access and modify. And I want to change the background color. Okay, the same element background color. Element dot style dot so background color. You see here background color is equals to I'll say blue, something like that. Okay. Now if I come here and if I refresh, you see that background color of that area became blue. Right. I can access that element using this get element by ID method. Using that element, I'm storing in element called one variable called element. On that particular element, I'm applying some stylings and some modifying the content, all those things. So now I'll access the button. We have a button, right? When I click on here, nothing is happening. This is just a button, no functionality is there. Now with the help of JavaScript, we can provide some functionality to this. So how we can do that? I'll say I'll access that button where button is equals to document dot get element by ID. So what is that ID? We have ID my button. Okay, my button. So just an example, these are all. Now I can attach an event. Okay, I can provide some event. So button dot add event listener. So what event I want to add here? Click event. When you click, there's a click event. So this is JavaScript syntax. We will see later in our upcoming videos, but here just an example I'm showing. So click event. Now I can put some alert. So some button clicked. Okay. Whenever I click on that button, it should throw an alert by saying button clicked. Okay. So go there and refresh once and click me. You see that button clicked. Right. Previously, there is no functionality. Whenever you click, so nothing is happening. When I click now, so this page a button click. Okay. So now we provided some, we modified, we accessed the elements, we modified something, and we provided some functionality to that. And coming to the DOM, right? We're discussing the DOM. So if you want to see the behind this, we have some HTML code. So DOM tree we are saying. So if you want to see that, right click on your web page, view page source. Click on view page source. So this is the DOM behind this web page. Okay, to display this web page, we have written this HTML code and this JavaScript code, all these things. Okay. In the top, it is parent. Inside this head is child of this HTML. Title is child of this head tag. And title is grandchild of this HTML. HTML is this grandparent of this one. And this LIs are sibling. These are the parents of this all LIs is UL. So because of that, these are all siblings. So something like that, you will have a relation between all these tags. And this is how DOM structure will be created. Okay. So this is all about the DOM. Means how can access the DOM elements with the help of get element by ID query selector, all these things. And the actual DOM is, this is the tree structure behind the actual web page. And these are all attributes. Button ID equal to my button. This ID is one of the attributes to this button. And H1 is a tag, body is a tag, head is a tag, title is a tag. And this is the text of the title. And this is the text of the LI item. And these are LIs on the same level. Okay. This all comes under this UL tag. Because of that, these LIs are child elements of this UL, but siblings to each other. Something like that. Okay. So this is all about DOM in JavaScript and HTML. Okay. So that's all in this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel, and provide your comments in the comment section. Thank you.